Nike Wildhorse 10. First look on the run today. Format's going to be similar to my first Terra Kiger 10 video. Just going to share some clips from this run. I will throw some specs up on the screen. I'm not going to dig too deep as this is literally probably I'm on mile 3 in this shoe right now. Hey Eric, how's it going? I don't mind talking on the run so much, especially a day like today. Did a hard workout yesterday, my short interval stack workout on the treadmill indoors. So this is kind of just another one of those regular easy days. Good fit for testing out the shoe for the first time. Quick disclosure here, this shoe was actually a personal purchase from backcountry.com. I tested the Terra Kiger and it's been such a long time since I ran in the Wildhorse. Wanted to try it out. Had some expedition perks built up. They also had a 20% sale, so got a very good deal. Decided to spring for them. So, as usual, my own thoughts and opinions here. So this is definitely big stack option from Nike. React X foam, high stack, high-ish drop. I do feel a lot of that foam really centered under the middle of the foot and the heel. Similar to the Zegama 1 and 2, I don't quite feel that much hanging off of the rear though. That kind of big tail they had in that model. There is a rocker up front by the toes, as with the Zegama 2. Kind of makes it feel like the forefoot cushion is not as much as a stack height would indicate. Definitely just feel the real heavy slab from behind the ball of the foot on back to the heel. Just kind of hiking it out a little over here. I do kind of get the sense, just from the stack of the shoe, the feel of it, construction a little bit, that it's more of like a mass market shoe, not necessarily a super dialed, like trail, certainly not a racing shoe, but not really a super dialed technical running shoe. I did go with a US 10 here. I have the Terra Kiger 10 in a 9.5. I don't know, kind of had a feeling that I'd want a 10, and I'm happy that I did. It's a bit spacious, but you could see this lace throw is really wide, even in a 10. And just like I was talking about earlier, some of the materials, maybe the tongue is pretty thick, kind of like a standard shoe, not necessarily trail running shoe. These eyelet things, they have these parts here, they're just a little flappy. It's nothing big, but it just kind of shows like it's not super dialed. They're just kind of hanging off. They have this vamp here, but it's not a stretchy material. It's not a neoprene one like some of the Hoka ones. I maybe have a feeling that they kind of just tried to go with the design, but not actually the functionality there. So it looks cool, nothing wrong with that, I guess. Nike Trail ATC all-terrain compound, no Vibram Mega Grip here. That's another giveaway that this is not necessarily a performance shoe. React X, not ZoomX. I mean, I kind of feel like, given that the Zegama, at least for me, is not really a performance shoe, it doesn't really match up against other, certainly super shoes, or even other high stack performance shoes. So they probably have, the ZoomX in that one want to make something a little, it does feel more stable. The Zegama, I feel that cush, that softness is nice, but this, it's a little firmer. It does feel a little bit more stable. As I said earlier, it doesn't have that huge tail hanging off. So even though it's heavy, I do kind of like the balance of the shoe in general. It actually, I don't have my Zegama 2s anymore or my Zegama 1s, but I will say that I prefer the ride of this one. 47 minutes in, 5.3 miles. Gonna head back down a little bit. I may kind of zigzag up and down. Like I said, this is kind of an easy day for me as I'm ramping up my mileage that I talked about in my last race recap video. these kind of in between days, in between workouts, in between kind of targeted long runs, downhill days, they kind of tend to fall in the range of like an hour and a half, 10 to 12 miles. It's kind of like my standard regular run, so to speak. I like the descent here. It doesn't feel as soft and unstable as a ZoomX in the Zegama. I think a lot of runners might prefer that. No issues with the ATC outsole right now, of course. Pretty dry. I'm not gonna do any extensive wet testing today. Might save that for a comparison video maybe against Mega Grip. If you noticed in my close-up, I did use lace locking on this shoe. Just felt kind of a little, that throat is pretty wide across the top of my foot. It's certainly low volume at the front of the toe box. Definitely shallow, but again, the material's soft, so it's not bothering me at all. I am happy that I have the 10 and not the 9.5. So with the lacing, I had to loosen up the tension around the midfoot. Also kept it loose at the front by the forefoot and the toes. It's just like less volume, and that kind of leaves the heel hold a little bit. It wasn't like completely loose, but being that I have tension so loose around the midfoot and the forefoot, just didn't really have a kind of positive lockdown at the heel. So I went with a lace loop. Didn't really dial it down super tight. It wasn't really like I was falling out of it. Just want to have a more secure feel. So knocking out an hour and a half, 10 to 12 mile kind of baseline runs, I find that really not to be an issue for me. Even though in my half marathon recap video, I did mention that I had run 56 miles per week in the 10 weeks leading up to that. Last week, the week after Heaven's Gate, I bumped up to 82. I'm kind of doing a 2-week kind of overload, nothing crazy, but compared to what I was doing. So I jumped from around mid 50s to 82 just last week. This is going to be the second week, probably get to above 90 or so. I'm going to turn around here just to vary it up a bit. Big factor in that has been fueling and hydration. I downed a 40-gram gel when I did that close-up back there. Got another 30 grams in my pocket, and I got about 24 ounces or so with 30 grams of carbs in my bottle here. So I am looking at 40, 30, 70 plus 45, 115 grams over an hour 15 run. Maybe like an hour and a half. That's certainly not pushing into the magical realm of high carb by any means, but I could tell you in the past, I would never take that much, if anything at all, for an hour and a half. I might take a sports drink, just a bottle, 30 grams, maybe a little bit more, that's it. And I think that's been a big contributing factor in just being able to stay healthy and actually run these kind of runs. I had a pretty hard workout yesterday, and the legs feel fresh, legs feel fine. I'm able to just kind of get out here, knock out some miles. The high carb thing, the fueling, done some scratch testing, Osmo Nutrition. I use SIS, kind of mix up everything. It's not just for racing. It's really, probably the more important factor is the training. Just like taking in the fuel for the runs that you're doing every day. All right, here we go. So you've seen this section in my videos before. Run through some rocks. I guess I will get my feet wet for this video. I'm not gonna call it right now, but it did kind of feel like I felt a hint of slide on one of those rocks right after that water. I kind of just subconsciously, last few steps, took it easy, but that was just very quick impression. Definitely gonna follow up more wet testing on all-terrain compound here. I will say that going through that last stream, it just feels like on the top of my foot, I didn't get totally soaked, but top of my left foot just feels like heavy, like a lot of water in whatever level of mesh is on top of the foot there. This is the bottom of that trail under construction up there. It's a flowy bike trail. How about some gravel? Certainly plenty of React X to handle this. That higher drop is helpful when you're heading uphill. More support under the back half of the shoe. Less stretching out of the lower leg, Achilles, if that is what you're looking for. If you are interested in purchasing this shoe or maybe any other shoes that I've reviewed, check out my affiliate links down low in the description. Got general links there, both for backcountry and REI, and I'll put links to specific products that I've reviewed and tested. As usual, if you are interested in supporting the channel and you're gonna maybe purchase something, might as well click through one of these links, help me out. Thank you for watching. So let me know if you like this type of format for a video, a little bit of a more detailed view of some testing of a shoe directly out of the box. Leave a comment, like and subscribe, all the good things. Thank you for watching. They seem to be resurfacing this road here. This is some solid gravel, I will say. So this React X is definitely soaking up all this. I don't feel anything with this gravel here.